Hey everybody, it's Allison Rose here again at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. And once again, I'm here with my buddy, Ray Nutt, CEO of Fathom, not events anymore, entertainment. So I want to start off talking about that. Tell me about the switch.
Well, I'm glad you asked. So it's great to be with you again. Everything, about a year ago, we looked at how many events that we were doing at Fathom, and there was 333 event nights that we were doing. And it got to the point where we were just out of time at the end of the day. And we needed to do something, to grow the company, actually. So we sat down and we started talking about, we had some interest with some content providers about doing some full-length feature films as opposed to the 1 or 2 night events that we did. And we decided that it was time to probably transition into more of a specialty distributor. So we still do events, but we rebranded the company at the beginning of this year to Fathom Entertainment, and it has gone spectacular. So it's attracted a lot of great filmmakers, startup filmmakers and producers and everything. And so you'll see us doing a number of different events, and then you'll see us doing some special engagements as well as we move forward, probably in the vicinity of 10 to 12 of those a year. So, and I have to say that usually when you rebrand a company, it takes forever, and I catch myself sometimes saying Fathom Events still, but we are Fathom Entertainment, and I think that's a better descriptor of the overall company and what our mission and vision is moving forward.
Now, recently you did one of your annual events, which is working with Utopia on RAD. And this year there was also a documentary included with that. Can you tell me a little bit how that went for you and why working with them has been a great collaboration? Well,
first of all, Utopia, they are great people, and they're great people to work with. We've worked with them in the past, and we did RAD Day again this year, and that is a rabid fan base, and it worked out very, very well. And yes, there was a documentary associated with it as well, so the audience got treated to something a little bit more, but it worked out very well, just as it has in the past, and I think you probably see us work with them a little bit more in the future as well. So,
all right, we do see right now in April we've got The Chosen, Last Supper, first part 1. We are getting part 2 and 3. Chosen has been a really big deal for you. We've talked about it in the past. Going forward, parts 1 now, part 2 and 3 coming up, and then in the future with them, because The Chosen is a huge franchise at this point.
So, who would have thought that we could take, what amounts to what was a TV program, a drama on an app that was offered for free, and turn it into $100+ million franchise in the movie theater. And I will say that when my staff came to me and said, a few years ago that that's what they wanted to do, I looked at them like they had 3 heads. And then when I introduced that to my board, they looked at me like I had 3 heads. But anyway, we all came together and said, there's something here. And Dallas Jenkins has done a wonderful job. The production value, the film value, just everything, the writing on it is just spectacular. So we did a couple of Christmas specials, and then we did season 3 with episodes 1 and 2, and then 7 and 8. So we bookended that. And then last year we did season 4, did all 8 episodes. That's never been done in theaters before, and we decided to do the same this year. But what is different this year is we decided to do it in a festival style. So last year, if you couldn't see parts 1, if you saw parts 1 and you missed parts 2, then you weren't going to go to see parts 3. And we saw audience levels decline drastically because people couldn't see it and they couldn't catch up, although we binged it at the end. This year, we're doing it at festival style. So theaters will be carrying over parts 1. So if you didn't see it this week, you can see it next week or the following week. And then same with parts 2, and then it keeps going from there. So, and then we are going to be binging it at the end of each week, but you don't have to see all 3 parts, all 8 episodes. You can just buy a ticket for whatever part that you missed as well. So I will tell you that as of today, we are running about 80% ahead of ticket sales for season 4, and we're hoping that the festival-style distribution strategy continues on. So, so fingers crossed. It's a great relationship, and we love working with The Chosen.
Well, you had that last year too with Coraline, because you had it in the theaters and it did so well. It went into theaters again. So is that something going forward for Fathom? Is that something that you find that is working well for you?
Yeah, you know, Coraline to date has been our biggest film, and you know, it did $34 million for us, and that's another one that surprised a lot of people, because we did Coraline before last year, and then it was remastered in 3D, and then once it was remastered in 3D, 70% of the tickets that were sold on that $34 million that we did at the box office for it were in 3D. So it tells you that people are looking for that special experience, and that's really what Fathom Entertainment brings to the table, where our team is always looking for something that's special. And there's been a lot of talk here at CinemaCon about windows and different things like that. And I'm of the belief that at the end of the day, if you bring good content to the movie theaters, number one, the exhibitors will play it. Number two, customers will come out, audiences will come out to see it. Everybody knows that it's going to be in a home, whether it's 17 days or whether it's 45 days, whatever. And I'm sensitive to that as a distributor. I'm certainly was sensitive to it when I was on the exhibition side of the business. But if you bring good content and do something a little extra with it, like Fathom Entertainment always does, then people will come and get off their couch, whether it's a Monday, Wednesday, or a Saturday, and come see it.
You touched upon this, and this is something that I want to ask you personally about, because you've been on both sides of it now. They're talking this year at CinemaCon about longer windows for theatrical. What is your feeling about that?
Well, as a distributor, you know, like I said, I would like to see longer windows. Certainly, as an exhibitor, which I'm not anymore, but as an exhibitor, and we're owned by three of the largest exhibitors in the world, the three largest exhibitors in the world, AMC, Regal, and Cinemark, they would certainly like to see longer windows. But again, I'm of the belief that just put a good piece of content on the screen, and everybody knows it's going to go into homes someday, sometime, and it just doesn't really matter how many days down the road. If it's good, they want to be that first one to see it in movie theaters, or they want to collaborate in movie theaters and worship in movie theaters like they do with The Chosen. They want to be shoulder to shoulder, laughing, you know, crying, you know, whatever. So, at any rate, Windows, we require windows as a distributor to respect our exhibitor partners, but our focus is mainly on putting good content on the screen.
Now I get to embarrass you a little bit. So, not too much. So, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about what I do with Flick Direct. And I said, oh, well, I got to interview Gerard Butler. And she looked at me and was like, I don't know who that is. And then I said, well, you know, every time we go to CinemaCon, I get to talk to the CEO of Fathom Events. And she went, Fathom Events? She was so much more impressed that I was talking to you than Gerard Butler. What do you say about that, sir? You are now a celebrity in your own right.
Well, you did embarrass me. I'm not. I don't consider myself a celebrity. You know, I'm just very proud of what we've done at Fathom Entertainment and over the years. And if you look at for the last 2 years, we've had double-digit increases, 45 and 48% year over year, and that's on the financial side. But you know, what's more meaningful to me is to watch how some of the content we're doing changes people's lives. And it's not just in the faith area; it's in many other areas, whether it's anime or classic movies, or they get to see Leonard Maltin introduce something and learn something that they've never learned about a movie, the 60th anniversary of Sound of Music, or the 50th anniversary of Cuckoo's Nest, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is my favorite film, by the way. So that's what I'm most proud of and everything. So, you know, I'm also proud that we have a team that's very transparent. So what you see is what you get with Fathom. We've become the 10th largest distributor, not exhibitor, in North America now, and so we're very proud of how we've grown the company, and I'm very proud of all my people out there. So it's not about me.